Good morning. Welcome back to the Vitality Project. I'm Dr. Bob. Yesterday we shared two poems here, and they're really intended to bring hope into our lives, especially focused on recovery from addiction. I want you to recall that I shared just a few mornings ago my own experience of complete devastation. There's no other word for it. That my own addiction created in my prior career, which happened to be in psychology. And in truth, if this is where the story ended, it would only be the worst possible tragedy. But my life didn't end there. Even with full recognition of all that I lost in terms of myself, my career, my relationships, owing to the effects of addiction that was based in what I see as no longer functional blueprints from my childhood. As I became reliant more and more in adulthood on alcohol and other drugs as anesthesia, things began to break down, and they broke down badly. But I want to also hold out hope here, and that is my story can be your story too, and some of you watching this can relate to this. What has transpired since my loss of career, at least as I knew it, as both a licensed clinical psychologist and a university professor, has been, and I absolutely mean this, continues to be, to me, utterly miraculous. I think it might have started when I was contacted by members of the American Psychological Association. They reached out to me as they were trying to begin to understand how it is that psychology, ironically, is the only major profession, including medicine, law, the military, which does not provide standard rehabilitation options for those like me who become addicted to substance. I sometimes joke is that there's no such thing as a problem with addiction in psychology, because if you become addicted like I did, you become by definition a former psychologist. And so the APA, the American Psychological Association, moved into conversation with me about this. And as I began to speak and then write more and more publicly about my own story, owning up to the horrible misjudgment and the injury that I caused others, all of this following on a very severe addiction. And that story continued into long-term dedicated recovery on my part. As I began to write about this, to publish this, peers in my own field of psychology began to wish to see me for professional recovery coaching. Some came in active addiction seeking healing. Their single greatest wish, just like with all of us who are in recovery, more than anything, they wanted my help that they might recover their authentic lives. And it's been my honor to work with many professionals over the last number of years who, like me, got into trouble with addiction and want to get back to who they really are, and then to make a difference in the world. I wonder if any of you watching me here today can relate to this in your own lives, either in terms of what you've been graced to experience like I have, or maybe that you can envision where this might go for you in a way that's really quite hopeful. I'd like to invite you to come back to join me tomorrow. I'm going to share with you an exercise which I think you may find very helpful as we move forward. Thanks for joining me today.